In the very well-known Lilly Ledbetter case, Lilly Ledbetter versus Goodyear Tire, a pay discrimination case, that you wrote what has been described as a scathing dissent in the opinion. And ultimately, many look at your dissent as one of your greatest victories. And you deemed the finding of the court in that case a parsimonious reading of Title VII, reading from the bench that the court is indifferent to insidious ways that men are paid more. You called on Congress to act to reverse this. It was the first bill signed into law under President Obama. But where has it taken us, and how much further do we have to go on that front?
Well, I'd say there was a forerunner to Lilly Ledbetter.
Yep.
And it was in the 70s when the Supreme Court decided twice that discrimination on the basis of pregnancy is not discrimination on the basis of sex. How did they reach that conclusion? Well, the world is divided into two types of people. There are the non-pregnant people, and that class includes many women. And then there are the pregnant persons. So how could it be gender-based discrimination?
Yes.
Well, there was a coalition of people from all parts of the political spectrum to right that wrong. Mm-hmm. And I think it must have been about 1978, Congress passed the Pregnancy Discrimination Act with a simple statement: discrimination on the basis of pregnancy is discrimination on the basis of sex. There was a similar groundswell for Lilly Ledbetter. Mm-hmm. Lilly worked as an area manager in a Goodyear tire plant. When she was hired, she was the only woman doing that job. One day, one of her coworkers put a slip of paper in her mailbox with a series of numbers. And she recognized immediately what those numbers were. Mm-hmm. The pay of every area manager. Mm-hmm. She could see from it that she was the lowest paid, that the person she had helped train was earning more than she was. So she thought, now it's time to do something about it. She brought a Title VII lawsuit. Title VII is a principal anti-discrimination in employment law. She won a substantial verdict from a jury. When the case got to the Supreme Court, her claim was dismissed on the ground that she sued too late. Mm. The law requires that the woman complain within 180 days of the discriminatory.
Even if they don't know what's happened yet?
Well, they may know what's happened, but women like Lilly have other concerns. If they are the first woman doing the job, they don't want to be seen as one who rocks the boat. They don't want to be seen as a complainer. Mm-hmm. And beyond that, if she had complained, first of all, how did she know? They didn't give out, the employer didn't give out salary figures. Mm. But even if she knew and she had sued immediately, mm-hmm. the defense, it's clear what the defense would have been. It would have been, it has nothing to do with Lilly being a woman. She just doesn't do the job as well. But when she files her lawsuit, she's been working there a dozen years, and her employer has given her good performance ratings, so that defense is no longer available to them. She has a winnable case, but she sued too late. My theory, and it was one that the Supreme Court, that had been applied for a long time under the Fair Labor Standards Act, it's that each paycheck she received that reflects that differential, renews the discrimination. So a complaint filed within 180 days of her latest paycheck is timely. And that's the change that Congress made.